church.
It's in-laws...
You have been found not guilty on all charges.
...and outlaws.
Do you mind?
Take it slow. I don't want Jacob bumped about on his last ride.
Emmerdale's feuding families first hit the screen with the funeral of Jacob Sugden. The reading of Jacob's will was the catalyst that ignited passions that had consumed the tiny village for more than 30 years.
Well, the Sugdens always used to be the cornerstone of Emmerdale. They've been there from the start, you know, from when it was called Emmerdale Farm. So when I think of them, I just think of Annie in the kitchen cooking the meal and holding a tribal council almost to sort the whole village out.
Annie Sugden was your archetypal matriarch. She made 18 million cups of tea because everything happened around that kitchen table. You know, it wasn't kitchen sink drama as a soap, it was her kitchen table.
You don't feel like selling the lease of this, do you? I'll keep you on as cook.
It's our home. We stay here.
Solid Yorkshire kind of farmers, people of the land, really, which although the show has moved beyond that and encompasses so many different types of characters, at the heart of it, in a way, is still Jack Sugden, who's a kind of rather rough-hewn, gritty Yorkshire farmer.
So you've come home?
Aye, Ma. That's it.
I didn't like him when he came in because he had a more likeable brother, and suddenly he swans back and he was a bit arty and, you know, I'm a writer and all that kind of thing, and I thought, oh, you can buzz off.
But Jack was here to stay.
It's in a chair. Tea's on table.
For over 3,500 episodes.
Jack is the only character, although the actor's changed, he's the only character who goes back to the very beginning of the programme in 1972. And it's the idea that you've got a family living and working on a farm that's kind of, if you like, central to the origins of the programme. And yet through this family you can tell the most modern stories.
Including the story of the rivalry between Jack's two sons, Andy and Robert.
I'm going to make you pay for everything that you've done. And that's a promise.
I see you boys didn't take my words to heart this morning.
Sorry, Dad.
It was a rivalry that started when Andy caused the death of their mother, Sarah.
Oh, no.
His intentions were good. Bless him. He had intentions of setting the barn alight, getting insurance money, and everything would be fine. And he saved the day, and we'd all live as happy families.
Someone's in there.
What? Robert! 999!
Look!
What he didn't know, obviously, his adopted mum was having an affair with a lodger. And there was also up to no good in the barn.
What have you done? What have you done? What? She's in there. Sarah's in there. No, Sarah. No. Okay, no. 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 Get off me. No.
He was so insecure anyway, and he was so troubled that suddenly he's faced another hurdle like this, which is a massive one, and it just was all too much, I think. And Jack was there to stand by him, which just showed what a great character he is.
Why do we have to burn them?
They checked all my clothes. They might want to check yours.
Who?
The police.
What for?
Petrol. Traces of petrol.
Will it still be on them there?
I don't know. I'm not taking any chances. Jack thought he'd lose him, and he so didn't want to lose him. At all costs, he wanted to keep Andy and the family. And there's a lovely scene where he's scrubbing after the fire and the police investigation is about to happen. Jack is outside with Andy, scrubbing him down in the yard, saying, you know, no one's going to get you, and there's tears in his eyes, no one's going to get him. It's a really difficult scene to do. I found it really difficult. We'll get every trace of it off, they'll never know. They'll never be able to prove a thing.
It was dead nice. It was outside. It was like 2 o'clock in the morning. You know, a little iron tin bath with soapy water, and Andy stood there, stark naked, and he's washing him down with tears streaming down his face. And I remember doing the scene. It was really touching scene. It was.
I'm not going to lose you too, Andy. I'm not going to lose you too.
I think Robert started to hate Andy after that. Definitely had some sort of grudge against him,
as you could expect.
Robert was the one that brought him to the Sugdens and said, you know, this is my friend from school, and eventually that led to him being adopted into the family as a brother. And yeah, from starting as best friends, it's now gone rapidly downhill.
It was always like Andy was the son that Jack should have had, you know. They were so alike, and Andy liked farming and Robert didn't. Robert wanted to be a college lad or whatever, and Robert must have been thinking, you know, this kid has come in, he's ruined my life, he's killed my mum, and now he's getting on better with my dad than I am.
But Robert has some kind of revenge.
Just let it ring.
Look, it's Sandy, I was only meant to go to the shop.
Yeah, so tell him they had an offer on. Buy one, get one free.
No, all right? I can't keep doing this, Robert. We're getting married.
I like the way that Robert and Andy are almost like Jack and Joe were back in the early days. You know, the love triangle at the moment could have happened 20 years ago between Jack and Joe.
All I want to know is if you meant what you said last night. We can't just drop it like that.
People can see us, OK?
Like I'm bothered.
Recently, he started having an affair with my fiancée. Genuinely at the beginning, I think it was just out of pure lust and more a dig at Andy. If he's getting off with my fiancée, then, you know, what better is that? It's like a bit of a revenge.
We're getting married, it's all arranged, and that's it.
So you'd rather have Andy than me?
Oh, Robert...
That's all I want to know.
Watching Robert and Andy, it's very, very interesting because in a sense they're Cain and Abel. Andy is everything that's good, everything that's honest and true. And, you know, I would be stretched to find a single good thing to say about Robert.
Well, the Sugdens have made a transition from being that old-fashioned matriarchal cornerstone of society to a real sort of mess.
When ITV